and welcome to the UkeStuff channel. If you're wondering why on an unboxing video I'm playing this to start off with, I need to tell you a story first, and then we'll go from there. This is the Flight TUS-35. There's a few variations of it. There's one with a sort of just a laminate, sort of traditional wood. There are different color prints. There's a new Elise Eklund signature model that's really actually quite attractive. Actually, I think all of them are attractive, and they do a really good job with this. The idea kind of is similar to a Magic Fluke, but it's a little different. Rounded back, ABS body, solid wood top, but then what differs from a lot of the other ones is a ABS neck along with an ABS fretboard, and a great instrument for schools. And to be honest, when I first got it, this one was on a sale at Amazon at the time that I couldn't pass up. Those happen from time to time, especially with less expensive ukuleles. I wasn't totally enamored with kind of like the washed out finish that these sort of have, and didn't really love the floral, things in there. But in general, that was okay. And then I played my friend Ukester Brown's Magic Fluke and compared the two and was kind of blown away. And from what I kind of thought was okay, suddenly I realized was really, really good. And I haven't had to adjust the action or anything like that on it. It came well set up out of the box. These earlier versions had a compensated saddle. And so I contacted Flight, which I hadn't heard too much about. I mean, I'd been watching Elise Eklund post with them for a while and have a collaboration, and just didn't know too much about Flight. Bernadette was doing a lot of things with Flight, and I reached out to them and started a conversation with them. And one of the questions I had was, could you make a concert version of this? And they came back to me later and said, well, we're considering a long neck version. And I thought, well, okay, in the future, if you ever get one, let me know, and I'll be one of the first to buy one. And they contacted me several months later and said, guess what? Good news, we've got one coming. And that's already been reviewed at Barry Maz's Got a Ukulele website. So what happened over time is that Flight and I kept talking, and over time I've been helping them with some text things. I've been writing some, if you check out Instagram, I've been writing some monthly uke tips that they're publishing. By the way, the owners are fantastic, and they speak, I can't tell you how many languages that they speak. So they're from Slovenia, but they speak a ton of languages, are very excited about the product, and they really do keep innovating these things. So as a thank you for the work that I've been doing with them, this arrived today, and what you're about to see is the long neck version that in some small way I had a part in, at least suggesting it, and I know others did it. So no, they did not introduce this instrument based on my information alone, but I know I did bug them about it. So here is the Flight, what they're calling, I think, the TUSL-35. Right now it comes in a few colors, although I'm sure that will change over time and as the popularity grows. Oh, the other thing I should say before I go to the new instrument is that this has a scale length already of 14 inches. So many sopranos have a scale length of 13 inches. This already is longer, which you can kind of sense, I think, is part of the reason why it has such a punch. But this is the new instrument, so of course, there will be a full review of this down the road in a couple weeks. I'm going to look forward to take this to school and show my students. They liked the blue one earlier this year. And I have some other comparisons with that Flight. For example, a comparison with 5 different plastic ukuleles, including the outdoor ukulele. So, as I open it, and it looks like I still have one little piece of tape to get on either side that I missed. So, here we go. This was shipped to me directly from Hal Leonard, which is now their distributor here in the United States. And I think it's safe for me to say that Flight is really working on becoming not an Amazon company, but being a company that you can find in your store. So if you want to buy a Flight ukulele, there is a 99% chance that your local dealer carries Hal Leonard. Your local dealer can ask Hal Leonard to start shipping them some Flight ukuleles that they can carry. They don't need to have a special contract with Flight to do it. So let's take a look. Let's see what we got. So loaded with paper. There we go. A few extra bags. Those are always nice to have around for repacking. Packing slip. And the Flight. And the actual ukulele. So again, one of the things they were able to do is they were actually able, I believe, to keep the design costs pretty low because they didn't have to completely reinvent the instrument. They just had to make the neck a little bit longer. And I'll be able to check out and do a comparison between the old and the new. So you get your Flight ukulele in a dust cover sort of gig bag. This is something that you can haul around. Now these are very rugged instruments. I just recommended one to a teacher. They asked, should I get the new Enyanova or what else should I do? And I said, really, if for your environment outdoors and what you're doing, the Enyanova is a rugged ukulele, but it's not, it's painted basically. And so while it's rugged, it can get scratched up. These things are kind of made to get beat around a little bit. There's a reason why they call them a travel ukulele. And then also, they included some Flight stickers. That's pretty cool. I did not realize that they did that. And this is Elise Eklund, who has now had 2 different signature ukuleles with Flight. I found out that one of my students just bought an Elise Eklund travel ukulele. That's the kind of color I'm looking to see if it's in here. Don't see a picture of that one. This, I think, predates that. But my student loves that. And by the way, person right there in the center is one of the owner of Flight. That's kind of neat that she's got her picture there. So let's take a look at the actual instrument itself. So here we go. They asked me what color I'd like. And as you can see, I kind of default to black these days, but it looks, or I say dark blue, I can't remember. I think I said black, but I don't care, actually. Blue is fine, too. So this is the dark blue Flight TUSL-35. And just so you can see it in comparison, okay, body to body, neck to neck, you can see how much more space you get there. And it looks, now a concert is normally 15 inches. It looks like this is going to be even more towards a tenor. So what you have here potentially, and I still have to measure all these and do the testing, but it looks like if you buy the Flight TUS-35, you get an instrument that's more towards a concert. If you buy the Flight TUS-35L, you're going to get an instrument with a length that's approaching a tenor too. So kind of soprano concert, kind of concert tenor, and that's kind of neat. So other things, just really quickly looking at it, you still have that same washed out finish that's grown on me over the years. You have the same nicely rounded ABS body. It comes with a tail pin. If you want to put one in up here, potentially you could void your warranty, but that's where I stuck mine. I drilled a hole and put super glue in it. Again, could void your warranty, but just so you know, generic branded tuners, which work just fine, a matching faceplate on there. This is all going to be ABS, ABS neck, ABS fretboard, and if you look at the fretboard, you now have round position markers, which I like better, to be honest with you, than the flowery ones. And the old one had side marker dots, and so does the new one. They're kind of small, but that's okay. It's enough to plant you. And it looks like they come with a keyless super Nile gut strings. That's what it says right there, which is pretty common. So, not quite in tune yet, but it will be soon. For those of you that haven't seen this, that's the Jawum. There's your G. C. again, nothing wrong with the Ukuleles. If you like them, I would definitely, if I was the first time player, I would just leave them on there for a while until they needed to be changed. But I do have an affinity towards the clear fluorocarbons. And just so you can hear the difference, I think that's going to be the main difference here. The fluorocarbons bring out a real clean, clear sound, where the Ukuleles kind of carry more of a mid-range and kind of blend out a lot of things. And again, no problem with that. And then the other change is that they no longer have a compensated saddle, and I'll be checking out the action later. At the first, it looks just fine. At the 12th, it looks okay to me too. And that's what you would want with an ABS based ukulele, is that the action is good for you when you come with it right out of the box. So that is a very, very quick look at the brand new TUSL-35. This is DB, the dark blue version, and I am just stoked to own it, and that's going to be fun. And it'll be great to do a side-by-side later, especially when I change the strings, which will happen too. So thanks for watching this unboxing of this instrument. It's great to be able to share it with you, and I look forward to actually dragging it with me to school tomorrow, where my students will get a chance to see it for the first time too, including my student who is the Elise Eklund fan, who just bought this version of the Elise Eklund signature, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It really is a cool design. Man, and I think these are retailing around $55. It might be a little more than that, but really, you get a lot of money, or you get a lot of ukulele for the money here. And there's not much more that you need. Now, granted, you can always buy a tuner, you can always buy a nicer bag. Some people are not going to like just the little, the little thin gig bag. But for an instrument like this, you don't really need much more. And that's kind of the point. And if you want to buy something else, there are certainly hundreds of gig bags to choose from that could offer more padding or more pockets or whatever you want. So thanks for watching. A lot more content coming in the near future, and we'll be back with this particular ukulele in maybe 2 weeks or so with a review of it. But I can already tell you, being a person that likes concerts, feeling it already and what they've done with it, this is going to get a pretty high score. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.